Believers, please use your natural and common sense. Common sense is what's common, so what's obvious, and natural sense is goes deeper than common sense. Natural sense is things that you know innate by your nature as a human being. For example, it's common sense that in the world, often someone is kind to you, it may be because he wants something from you. But it's natural sense that there are people out there who can just do something good for you without asking in return. Okay? So you have common sense, that's what often happens, so that's why when something happens, you'll likely refer to how it used to be in the past. And there's nothing wrong with that, if it's appropriate. But then you have natural sense, and natural sense implies that, okay, just because it often happens that when someone's kind to you, they want something from you, it doesn't mean that every time someone is kind to you, they want something from you. There are also times that people just want to be kind to you for just being kind. It can happen. Okay? So, natural sense and common sense. You should have both. You know why? Very simple. When you examine things out here in the world, you need both natural sense and common sense. Common sense, as I mentioned before, refers to what often happens in the world, what's common. For example, if you go to a bank to get a loan, it's common sense they would ask some background information about you. And it's also natural sense because they are an organization. And as an organization, you need to account for what they're doing. So, if you get an offer from a financial institution and don't even ask for your background check, common sense would alert you, there's something fishy about this. Your natural sense may let you think, is this really a financial institution or is it a charity organization? You begin to think, what is it? Now, apart from common sense and natural sense, you have your inner radar. So let's say now that you intend to go to the supermarket. There's nothing wrong going to the supermarket. You go to there often, many people go. But at one day that you want to go to the supermarket, you feel danger on the inside. And then danger pushes you to consider maybe it's better not to go to the supermarket. There's no scientific reason why you can't go to the supermarket. Okay? So based on common sense and natural sense, you would say, hey, it's common sense that I can go to the supermarket. And it's natural sense that likely nothing's going to happen, which is true. But your inner radar overrules common and natural sense. You know why? Because it is common sense that you can go to the supermarket at any time. It's natural sense that likely nothing will happen. Both true. But that specific day, there may be someone walking around there with explosive anger, and your inner radar picked up a very negative vibration. So, what do? You forget common sense and you forget natural sense and you listen to your inner radar. You don't go to the supermarket. Or it can be that you're about to board an airplane. Everything's well arranged, but you forget your passport. You think, why the heck did I forget my passport? What is going on here? And you're likely to miss your flight and you rush back home to get your passport. But you just can't find your passport. Then finally you find your passport and you're about to go back to the airport, but you're just 10 minutes too late and you can't board anymore and the airplane leaves without you. You miss your flight. But instead of being enraged, upset, you're completely at peace. And you think, why? You even ask yourself, why you're so at ease? It's because your inner radar picks up that you're safe. So what we need to learn is to pay more attention to our inner radar. Because if you only pay attention to common sense, you will miss out natural sense. Because common sense is something common. Look, if someone tells you that you can purchase a plot of land somewhere, let's say it's an area where there's a lot of land, then you can purchase it. But if it's near an urban area, then you would think, that's not correct. So if you're in an urban area, someone comes with an offer to purchase land, you may think common sense will hint you something's off. But if it's in an area with a lot of land, okay, then it's more common, okay? And natural sense in this case may help you out to check where the context is appropriate. But above common and natural sense, your inner radar goes above it. In the world, a lot of people hold on to common sense and it works out. But they don't pay attention to the inner radar. So what happens? A guy may see a female that's attractive, and he makes a move, she is responsive, and a relationship develops. Common sense hints to him that she is a kind woman, she takes responsibility for her life, she's not a leech and all of that. So, based on common sense, he thinks he's a right a marriage partner, she's wife material. His natural sense also hints him, hey, she's a female of a reproductive age, so you can even have children with her, or if you don't have children, you will be a lovely couple. So, common sense and natural sense, but in this case, he only uses common sense, will hint to him this is a right match. But somewhere, the first time he saw her, he felt unease. But because it's an attractive female and his hormones were rushing, he ignored that. So because he ignored his inner radar, he later ends up with a female that ends up endangering him. Why? Because she is a fine lady and all that, but she has things that haunts her that she hasn't faced. She has an ex-boyfriend who's a psychopath, who refuses to let her go. And even though 5, 6, or maybe 8 years have passed, and she's now with you, that ex-boyfriend is still haunting her. So now that he's with her, 2 or 3 years into the marriage, he gets weird phone calls. He sees weird marks at their doorstep, and he's about to become a homicide victim very soon. So the first time he saw her, his inner radar launched an alarm. But he ignored alarm because he couldn't place the alarm. According to common sense, the alarm didn't add up. But there's the thing. The inner radar is always right. He felt that his alarm went off. So something was off. But according to the situation, everything was right. According to common sense, the girl responded well. They were a match. So common sense alone cannot keep you safe. You need to pay attention to your inner radar. Look, even if someone has a very low IQ and a very low emotional intelligence, let's say you encounter someone that's quite dumb. They have a very light IQ and a very low emotional intelligence. So they don't add up. Most of the time they're speaking, they don't even add up. Even if you have such an individual, if such an individual pays attention in the radar, they outsmart people with 5 academic degrees. Because there are people with multiple academic degrees, there are people who speak eloquently, they speak multiple languages. You have very high intelligent people out there, even people with a high emotional intelligence, but they never pay attention in a radar. So a quote-unquote dumb individual outsmarts them when it comes to danger. So don't rely on common sense. Use it, but don't rely on it. Be at peace.